Darlene. I'm going to give everybody a chance to pop on. I'm going to pull up my feeds. It is Wednesday tonight, and it is the second night of our new series. I am loving this, by the way. And tonight we have a very special friend with us. I'll bring her on here in just a minute. Let's use my mouse the right way though. Hello. And she's been I can't remember. We'll ask her when she gets on with us, but I think she's been around for almost a year. I think she's been around on the online community. We'll ask her about that though during the show. And anyway, she's a huge fan, good friend, has a mouth that I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to rein in, but we're just going to roll with it. So maybe put the young kids to bed. Frannie, don't say anything yet. Okay. So I'm just bringing up my feeds. I have YouTube to get up. Hang on one second here. We're almost there. I'm going to say hi to all my buddies. And then we're going to get started with Miss Frannie Baldwin. She's rather famous around this group. So let me pull up YouTube. Okay, there I am. How's everybody's week going? I hope everybody is having a good week. I know that the Midwest was having some storms, so that's kind of scary. Kind of glad I'm not in Omaha right now. Okay, let me say hi to some friends real quick. So Cindy Matthews, hi. It's only 73 outside, so it's easy to stay cool in Seattle when it's 73. Sandy Martin's on. She says, "Hey, Fran." Actually, I'm gonna bring you up here. Hold on. All right, everybody. There she is. There's the woman of the hour. Her internet is a little laggy, so she'll come back here in a second. She's frozen up, but she'll come back on in a minute. So let me just say hi to some friends real quick, and then we can get going. Polly's on from UK. Hi, Polly. Polly, you should be on the show with me from UK. How fun would that be? You could talk about some of your featherweights. I'll hit you up later about that. Hi, Carrie. Thanks for joining us over on YouTube. Let's see here. We got Judy P on. Judy P is going to be on next week, everybody. So she is a friend and a fan from Massachusetts, I believe. So she's going to be on next week. Hi, Jennifer from Verde, Nevada. Kathy's on. Kathy Zoka. So Kathy Zoka is Franny's sister. We'll talk about that in a minute too. Joanne Keeney's on from Mississippi. Hi, Lisa from Phoenix. Mel and Joe. She wrote the date because she wasn't sure she had the right time frame. Let's see here. Pauline's on from Texas. She says, "Hello, Featherweight Land friends." Nancy's on. Mary's on. Hi, Mary. She's sneaking in to see Fran. Girl, you're supposed to be at work. Judith Ann Jansen Dancer's on. Hello. Debbie Sinclair's on from Kentucky. Kathy's on from Illinois. Odie's on from Oregon. Oh my gosh, so funny. All right. Oh, okay. Francis is on. Hi, Francis from Virginia. So Lisa's in Phoenix, and she said they actually had rain today. What? The native Phoenicians think rain is like lucky or something. Like coming from Seattle and living in Phoenix for a couple of years, rain just stinks. You just can't get around it. But people in Phoenix love rain. They love it. It's like a lucky thing. All right, Mel's on from Shreveport, Louisiana. Mary picked up her new top label today. Very fun. Bernadette's on from Ontario. Let's see here. Kathy Hatfield's on. Hi, Kathy Hatfield. Carmen. Ooh. Okay, let's see here. I'm sorry. Lisa wanted to correct herself. It's measurable rain in Phoenix. Poppy is on from Brooklyn, New York. Hi, Poppy. I don't have a friend named Poppy. I think that's a cool name. George is on. Hi, George from Maryland. Let's see. Teresa is on from Louisiana. Tracy's on from Virginia. Okay, there's so many of you. Okay. Oh, Carmen's still working in New York, so she put me on speaker. Okay, that works. And then Deanne's on from North Dakota. Hi. Okay, friends. So, what we're doing tonight is we are interviewing Fran. So, Fran, everybody, Fran, you've been introduced now. So, tonight's show is all about our featherweights. And Fran had a particularly touching story on how she acquired her Centennial. Well, actually, she's had two touching stories because, well, I'm sure she'll tell you how she got her school bell. Everybody might be aware, but anyway, so we're gonna talk to Fran for a little bit, find out about her machine named Carol and probably her machine named Mary also, and just kind of find out the history on some of these machines. I just nerd out about this kind of stuff. So I just love hearing about the history, how they came to us, how they have, like sentimental as well as an intrinsic value. This story, Fran, is not a story of an inheritance like it, but it was a gift from a very, very, very special friend. So I would like you to kind of start at the beginning of your beautiful note that you typed out to me about how you got started in quilting altogether, Miss Fran.
I hope the internet works and you can hear me. Is it okay?
I can hear you, but your picture is frozen. Oh, there you are. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just freeze and talk. Anyway, I started years ago. I had hand embroidery, a bunch of blocks, 36 of them. I did not know how to put them together. And
Oops.
in 2010, 2009, I don't know. Anyway, I met Carol and Bill, her husband.
Hey, Franny, do you know an Amy Longoria?
Yes, I do. That's my
She's
daughter-in-law.
watching.
Oh.
She said, best mama in the world. And I'm like, yikes, I hope that's Fran's daughter.
That's my daughter-in-law.
Nice.
Anyway, you'll probably see a lot of strangers on there tonight.
No, that's all right.
Anyway, when I met Carol, she was a hand quilter. She quilted everything by hand, and she did beautiful, beautiful work. And she would sit and be hand quilting when I would come to visit. And one day I just said, I have a bunch of blocks. I do not know how to put it together. And she said, well, just bring them over and you're going to learn. And so she did teach me how to make a quilt out of those blocks. My very first quilt.
The one that we showed on the program on Friday?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
And that quilt I hand quilted, and she made me take it to the fair when I got it done.
She drug you
Yes, she
there.
did. She did. She did. She said, you have to enter it. I didn't know nothing about the fair or anything. So I just took it down, and the day of judging, I guess, she said, we need to go down there. So we went down there and we're looking around, and there's beautiful quilts, beautiful quilts. And she said, look at your quilt. And I looked at my quilt, and there was a blue ribbon on there. And I said,
blue
what?
Ribbon?
A blue ribbon, yes.
What?
I said, what's that mean?
Wait, if you get a blue ribbon on your first quilt, it's all downhill from there. You might as well just quit right there.
Yeah. Well, while I was doing the hand quilting, I decided that really wasn't something I wanted to do, but I was very interested in machine quilting. So I decided I would teach myself, try to learn how to machine quilt. Now, she decided I needed to piece a quilt. That didn't go very good. So, anyway, through the years, she has taught me to piece. which I still don't like doing. But she has also been my I don't know, just
Cheerleader?
she's just
Is she your
yes,
cheerleader?
yes.
That's
And
awesome.
she makes me do things I don't want to do.
Well, I firmly believe, as like a quilt educator, that we need to do things that push our comfort level.
Yes.
So, like the whole project last year, Franny, with the Quilt as You Go, the Arizona Sky 17-week program we did during COVID and stuff, that was me pushing me. I was
Yeah.
pushing me, and you guys just got to come along for the ride because I was terrified of those um, ombre fabrics, the where there's the color gradation from salvage to salvage, because they intimidated the crap out of me. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm doing an entire project. I'm doing it online so I have accountability because then you guys weren't going to let me, start something and not finish it. And so it turned out to be such a blessing for other people that like I had no idea that me pushing me would have such a profound and lasting effect on my online community. So I think that's awesome. I mean, like hats off to Carol for making Fran stay out of her comfort zone. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. She and so over the years I bought my son bought me a long arm. My
By the way, you
first
have
one.
a lot of fans right now on YouTube. They're blowing up my feed. I see Anna. Anna's saying hello, Mom. I have BM2 Longoria. I love you, Mom, and 50 million hearts. Is that your son?
I have 5 sons and 1 daughter.
Good Lord, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Very cool.
So anyway, through the years of knowing Carol, the first long arm I had, I was in a 3-bedroom apartment, and my son bought the long arm. I taught myself how to use it. I still did not like piecing. I did not touch piecing. I didn't. I stayed away from it.
Fran!
Yeah, I stayed away from it, and it taught myself to quilt. And then I sold that long arm and bought a another long arm, and it was huge, huge, and I had no room for it. And
Yeah.
Carol and Bill, they have a studio in their backyard that he had built for his wife so
Nice.
she could do her quilting, piecing, and all that. So it wasn't being used anymore, and they told me I could bring it over. And so I would come over and quilt, and Carol would come out and visit with me and talk. And during these years, Carol has slowly lost her eyesight. She sees, but it's very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So she hasn't been sewing. She hasn't been making quilts. Now she has about 20,000 that she hasn't finished.
Just the small backlog. It's fine. Totally fine.
Just the small. Yes. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Anyway, so I use this shop here for my long arm.
That's awesome.
And one day we were talking, and I had seen on YouTube and elsewhere about the featherweights, and I just thought they were the cutest
Aren't they?
little sewing machines. I had
I
no
hear you.
idea what they were, and she and I were talking one day, and I showed her a picture of it,
Yeah.
and we just kept talking, and pretty soon later she said, "See that box over there under the shelf?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Pull it out." And so I did. Now I had no idea what these things in person look like. It looked like a typewriter to
Like a
me. The
toy.
box
They
looked
look
like
like a toy to
a
me.
typewriter. The box, anyway, I
Yeah.
pulled it out, and she said, "Go ahead and open it." And when I opened it, I saw this tiny little sewing machine and all folded up in there. And I pulled it out, and I just, it was just amazing. And she said, I don't even know if it works. I don't think I've sewn on it. And she said, plug it in. So we plugged it in and it ran. And I knew, she said she hadn't sewed on it. So I knew not to run it.
Right, right.
And yeah. And she said she couldn't see to use it anymore.
Oh.
To go ahead, and she handed it to me. And I was just blown away,
Over the
ecstatic as
moon,
all.
I'm sure.
Yes. Took it
Wow.
home right away, started getting on the internet trying to learn about it.
Yeah.
And YouTube. I came across your show. I think I got my featherweight in September, October last
Okay.
year.
Okay.
And yeah, and you were doing that quilt as you go, and
Uh-huh.
then the sip and sew,
Oh,
and the featherweight
yes.
doctor. And I started watching you every time I could get on there to watch. And I fell in love.
Oh.
And I'm gonna get it. Hold on.
And now I'm an adopted sister.
Well, that goes with the process.
Oh, there
So
she
here it
is, the
is.
beauty.
Yeah, and then I didn't know. Of course, I had to learn about them, and to find out that it was a Centennial was even. I'm
A
like,
bigger, yeah.
yeah. So when I told Carol what she had here, she's like, give it back.
You're like, no. So,
But I got it all running. Thank you.
yeah.
And brought it back over to the shop and had Carol come out, and we put a lot of light on it, and
Okay.
she sat and sewed on it. She hadn't sewn in years, and
So
she could
amazing.
sew. So
So amazing. Well,
yeah.
so Frannie got a bit of a reputation around here right off of the bat. She would jump on, and she always had the most fun disposition behind her keyboard. And I think that I think that not being on camera per se, people kind of like hide behind their keyboards a little bit, and so she kind of would type whatever was on her brain. And so my daughter Ray would say, because my daughter is 18 now, but at the time she was like 17, and she'd be like, oh man, Fran Baldwin's on. That's what she'd say when you would get on. And
Ray, did you get a raise yet?
did you get a raise?
Almost.
Almost. I actually did just give her a raise.
Yay.
One
Yay.
might say it's a demotion. I put her on salary instead of hourly. In other words, I own her.
Yeah.
Come say hi to Fran real quick. There she
Hi,
is.
Ray. I just love you. Your mom's
Okay.
crazy, you know.
Oh, yeah, no, go away. No. So anyway, I remember one time you said something particularly naughty, and I was like, Fran Baldwin,
Me?
I'm not repeating that on camera.
Yeah, I have specific orders to behave tonight.
Yes. Well, I appreciate you
I don't
keeping
know
me on my
why, but
toes. And to be honest with you, I was telling you earlier, it's been a bit of a day today, a little more than normal. I say that a lot, but today has been particularly a day. And I read you sent me the beautiful story of Carol in the form of an email. So I was just kind of rereading my notes. So I, knew which direction this conversation was going to go in. And you had put the wonderful little mini paragraph in about me, and just, you kind of made my day. So you made me tear up a little bit,
you're
girl.
amazing. You're amazing.
Oh.
And because of you and me sitting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday watching you, my sister, Mary, who lives with me, finally watched one of the shows.
your BM2 son wanted you to know that Carlos loves you very much and that you are the best.
Yeah, that's
Is
my
Carlos your
second son.
grandson? Ah.
No, he's my son, my
Oh,
second one.
Carlos. Carlos, she knows
Hello,
you love her.
everybody. Yes.
Anyway, well, so what's another funny story? So Fran and I's paths crossed around the new year again. I had posted a machine that I had picked up, I don't know, in some sketchy parking lot. I do that for you guys so you don't have to do that. So I met some sketchy guy in a sketchy Starbucks parking lot, and I brought this machine home, and it was truly one of the nicest machines I've seen in a long time. I see some ones that are not as nice, but this one was in a really nice shape. And I had mentioned something about it on the show, one of the shows, and then you had direct messaged me because your sister. So everybody, so Fran is an influencer in her own family when it comes to the featherweight online community now. So she is directly responsible for dragging two of her five sisters in with her to this little community. So Kathy Zoka is her sister, younger sister that lives in Addie, Washington, which is very close to Colville. It's on the eastern side of the state, northeast side of Washington state. And so I had the pleasure of meeting Kathy when Kathy had purchased that wonderful little machine from me, and I went over and met her. So I kind of felt a little more connected to because I had met Kathy like in person. And then Mary got in on it. Mary is your other younger sister, but older than Kathy, and she lives with Mary there in Kansas. And Mary was not happy with you and I that we had hooked Kathy, Mary wasn't happy that we had hooked Kathy up with the machine because Mary's like, well, wait now, wait, I want a machine too. So I did find her in
Yeah.
1952. So now there's like three featherweights in the family. And then after Mary had purchased her 1952, Kathy Zoka said much younger, she says.
Mary,
Yeah,
Mary
Mary's the
is
baby.
much younger. She's the baby.
She
Yeah.
said they were born the same
Kathy
year
and
though.
I, Kathy and I are born we're 11 months apart.
Oh
Yeah, so
gosh.
I'm the older twin. I was
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
yeah.
Judy,
So
oh no, Judy P, don't you dare bail on me next week. She's like, oh man, I can't live up to this. You are
yes,
not
Kim.
allowed to bail next week. So
So
anyway, then,
then Mary,
yeah,
you came across a school bell, and
yeah,
I
and
had
I thought I
said,
was
first
calling you.
come, I get it.
Yeah, I thought I was calling
Right.
you. And then, but I accidentally called Mary's number.
No.
And then Mary's like, oh,
Yep.
I want it. And I want it for Fran. And don't you tell her what I'm doing. And I'm like, how am I supposed to keep this from Fran? Anna says she's sorry for distracting me with the family chat on my YouTube channel. It's totally not a big deal. I can like multitask at least three things at the same time. So we're good. Anyway, so now Miss Frannie has Carol, the Centennial, in her
Yeah.
collection, which is very near and dear, and rightfully so. And then she has the beautiful school bell that actually Ray found at an antique shop. I walked right past it.
Thank
And
you, Ray.
thank you, Ray. And so, yeah, so now that featherweight, her school bell's name is Mary. So I have to ask you a question because you have two kids now. You have two featherweight kids, many children, actual human children, but two featherweight kids. Who's your favorite? Oh, look at her. She's like, it's okay. They don't have feelings. You can't hurt anybody's feelings.
That's right. I don't even have a favorite child. So I
Well,
can't do that.
I have whatever child is in front of me is my favorite child. I'm like, you're my favorite child. And
Well,
then the other kid's like, wait, what?
this week, Bill and Carol have gone on vacation, the first one they've taken in 3 years. So I am over at their place taking care of the dog for them this week. And so I have been sewing on the Centennial.
Yeah.
Okay. And
just
I
1
am
second.
making a quilt.
Hold on 1 sec. Mary, you found a 222. Mary found a 222. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your story. You're making a quilt on your Centennial while your friend Carol's out of town. Yes.
So while I'm over here during their vacation, I'm working on making a quilt for my grandkids.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
have
promised,
11.
I tried to make 14. 14.
Oh, geez, and crackers. You're almost out of
14.
fingers and toes counting.
Yeah, close. They're done. They're all done. Thank you, Lord. But anyway, I try to make a quilt for every one of them that have graduated. I figured I could meet that goal. It's been tough. But anyway, I am working on quilts here. But I have to tell you this. Bill and
Yes.
Carol left to go to Deadwood, South Dakota.
Yeah.
They got there Monday.
Okay.
And Bill fell and broke his leg.
Shut the front door. Oh,
That's
no.
what I said. I asked when Carol called me, I said, is this some kind of joke
Wait,
or what?
she can't drive. So they're stuck.
No. You know what she said? She said, well, I'm going to have to drive home. He's going to have to sit and tell me where I am on the road.
No.
No.
By the way, Susie, middle sister Susie is on also. Yeah. And I'd like to just point out, Susie, that all of your sisters are in the Cool Kids Club because they have their featherweights.
Susie's usually working. She's usually working also. So okay. her and Mary usually work in the evenings. So yeah. But yes, I enjoy the featherweight, and I think my friends, my people that I know, I work at a grocery store. All I talk about is quilting and the featherweight.
We tend to talk about our hobbies, don't we?
Yes, and then all I can do is keep looking at them online. I go, oh, that's what Mary and I do. Yeah, we do. She just went to Oklahoma and got her second machine Monday. Hi, Ray.
I know. Oh, what are you doing, girl? She's hanging out, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, she said Susan's at work. Okay. So anyway, it's I get. Oh yeah. Who said that there was a 1933 on eBay right now? So that's a first production run. So you and I have twin machines out of the same production run in 34. My machine's ironically named Mary too, which had nothing to do with your Mary, which I think is funny. But there is the one production run before ours, which is the first one. We have the second production run ever. The first one, there's one up on eBay right now for $3,200.
Yowzer.
People they'll pay anything these days.
You know what I got on Saturday?
What?
A treadle.
You told me that. That's so cool. I have mine. I have a treadle. I'll probably for always have a treadle. My treadle works better than some of the featherweights that show up here when they first come here.
Yeah. I bought a treadle machine. It's a small one, and it was made in Germany in the factory that was completely dismantled during the war.
Oh.
So it's a 1588, and it has the German seal and everything on it.
Oh, neat. That's very cool. Very cool.
So
well, I really appreciate you jumping on here with me and sharing your beautiful stories on your featherweights and how they came to live with you. Um, Next week we're gonna have Judy P on. Judy P's in Massachusetts, I believe. Yes, Massachusetts, and so she's got an accent that kind of reminds me of my family because I was born and raised in that part of the country. So that's kind of fun. I like talking to her. She tells me she
Yeah.
doesn't have an accent, and I'm like, Judy, you guys
That's
be
where
the judge.
Carol and Bill are from Massachusetts. Yep.
Yeah, you guys be the judge. I think it's a great accent, but that's just me. Um, so, would you thank your entire family for boosting my viewership tonight?
Okay.
Thank you, Frannie's family.
Thank you for having me on. This has
Oh,
been,
I'm
I
really
just,
excited about this new series. I think it's going to be just great to kind of get to know each other a little bit more. One of the things that makes my heart just ridiculously happy when I started this whole thing back when COVID first shut me down and I was lonely and I just wanted some people to do life with and be in community with. So I found them on here. But one of the things that just makes my heart just happy is the fact that not only have I found community with all of you, you too, Frannie, but you guys are finding community with each other. And that I think that's just the creme de la creme. Like, I think that's just the best because you all make me so happy. And people were commenting when Reagan was running the marketing stuff for the last 2 days. Oh, can't wait to meet Frannie. Can't wait to meet Frannie. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so cool, so cool. Oh, we had a quick question here. So Tracy over on Facebook wants to know what makes the machine a school bell. Do you want to tell her? Well, this is the pop quiz, Frannie.
the bobbin, the bobbin winding mechanism is on the front of the machine, not on top, but it sits on the front of the machine. It looks like a little silver bell, like a little school bell.
There she
But
is.
the only thing is it doesn't ding.
No, it doesn't. And you know what? I think I told you guys this. I found out last week that the reason why they went away from this design was because they kept getting broken off because they were on the front of the machine. I didn't know that. And I
You
also
know,
found,
I bought a table to
yeah. Oh,
sit my featherweight into,
yeah.
and I went to put the school bell in there, and you cannot do that.
Oh, the
So
tensions are so tight. I would believe that.
yeah, you can't. So
Be
it sits
careful.
on top of it. Yeah, it
Yeah,
sits on
be
top of it.
be careful not to
Yep.
smack that school bell right off.
No, no.
All right, Miss Frannie. Well, this has been totally delightful. You are delightful. This has been totally delightful. I'm looking forward to Friday. It's my sip and sew again. Working on a quilt. So I'm it's actually it's behind me. Some blocks I've been working on. So we're going to talk about that. And Sandy Martin thought it was funny when we said it doesn't ding.
It doesn't ding. You know what, Darlene? I haven't said one bad word tonight.
I think you've earned like a Dairy Queen or some kind of something. You get a treat.
I need a Mother of the Year reward.
Do you hear that, kids? All of your kids. Mom gets a special treat tonight. Mary, bring her home something. All right, friend. I will talk to you soon. Have a good evening. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific on YouTube and Facebook. Bye.